Hey, welcome back to the channel. Guys, I am the Dawgfatha, and today, got a great treat for you. We're talking beef ribs, AKA dino ribs, AKA smoked brisket on a stick. Hell, I don't care what you call it. I just call it straight goodness. So if you're with it, let's get it. That's right, guys. So today we are going to be doing beef ribs. But hey, before I get into that, if you're new to the channel, guys, please take the time to subscribe to the channel and click that bell on so you get notified of every time we do an upload on this channel. Trust me, you won't want to miss what we got in store for you. So that's right, guys, beef ribs. Now, today we got us an awesome set of 3-bone plate ribs, compliments of Midland Meat Company. And man, this is going to be a fun cook. I know a lot of people are afraid of trying beef ribs. They're intimidated about these long cooks. Guys, this is going to be a really easy, simple cook that the most novice of grillers can pull off. So let's get these ribs seasoned up and let's get this cook cracking. All right, let's go. All right, guys. So again, to get this started here, we got a fantastic set of plate ribs here. These are awesome beef ribs. As you can see, there's plenty of marbling all throughout the meat here. So this is really going to be a pretty good cook here, I believe. So we've got a nice little membrane here on the back. And we're not going to take any of that off. We're going to leave that on so it can kind of hold these ribs together as we go through the cook. And as you can see, Midland Meat Company is already taking off the fat cap, so we don't really have any trimming to do. So we're going to get this seasoned up. Now today I am actually going to use a binder. I'm going to use hot sauce, guys. You can use whatever you want. If your meat is tacky enough already, you might not need to use a binder, but I'm going to put a little hot sauce on here just because that's just my preference. Again, feel free to use whatever you like. Water, ACV, apple juice, Worcestershire sauce, you name it. Whatever your creativity comes up with, go for it, guys. But again, we're going to put a little bit of hot sauce on here. All right, now, typically you guys know that I'm a salt and pepper kind of guy, like that kosher salt and black pepper. But today we are actually going to be using Uncle Steve's shake. And the first layer that we're going to put on, guys, we're going to put on some spicier. Now, I'm going to put some here on the back side. You don't typically have to if you don't want to, but I'm going to put some on here just because. Get some on the sides there. All right, so now that we got the back and sides with that spicier, our second layer we're gonna go on with is gonna be Uncle Steve's shake, and it's gonna be the smoke bomb, guys. Very nice smoke flavor in this rub, so I kind of dig it. So we're gonna put some on. And just because you know I'm a Central Texas kind of guy, I gotta put a little bit of black pepper on here. All right, now we're gonna get onto our presentation side. I always season on the bone side first and presentation side last. So again, we're gonna put this hot sauce on here. I know I already put some on there, but man, I'm really gonna want some more on there because I really like hot sauce on my beef ribs. So again, we're gonna get this spicier put on here. Nice little coat on there. Followed by that smoke bomb again. And again, we're gonna get some black pepper put on here, guys, just because. And this is that 16 mesh black pepper. All right, guys, hey, we got these ribs all seasoned up nicely, and now it's time for us to get it on the grill. So I'm gonna meet you out on Barbecue Boulevard. Let's go. All right, so here we are. We're poolside today. You know, it's gonna be a hot day here in Central Texas, so why not be poolside while we're doing a cook, all right? As you can see, we're firing up the Weber kettle. As you can see, smoking here. So let me show you how we got it set up. So we're gonna use our regular baskets that actually came with our Weber kettle, and we're gonna place it in here. Now, if you notice, we got a flat side here, so I'm gonna put that flat side away where I'm gonna be holding charcoal. And I'm just using the other flat end of the second basket here, just kind of to make that area where we're gonna put our charcoal. So let's go ahead and get our charcoal put in. Okay, now that we've got our charcoal put in here, I'm just kind of arranging it how I want it here. Getting getting some of these smaller pieces over here where I'm going to be lighting. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a couple of fire starters here. These are tumbleweeds. I'm just going to place them in here just like this. Now my bottom vents are wide open. I always rock with it wide open, and we're going to go ahead and light it up. All right, so now we've got the fire starters going. I'm just going to put a couple of pieces of lump just a little closer over here. Get this guy ready to go. All right, so now that we've got our charcoal kind of lit right here, we're gonna go ahead and finish getting this grill put together here. And what we're gonna do, guys, is we're gonna add in some post oak. That's right, some post oak wood chunks. We're gonna just kind of get it placed around here. Now again, adding this post oak over here on the unlit part of the grill, it's basically gonna give you a good continuous smoke as you cook. This is gonna start burning here, and it's gonna kind of snake across, and that's what we're looking for. Okay, now that we got our wood put on here, we're gonna go ahead and get our racks put on. And I'm getting this rack put on to where I actually have the part that opens over here towards where my charcoal is in case I need to add more. All right, guys, so we got our wood on here. We got a nice little burn starting here. So it's time for us to go ahead and get these ribs on. You could certainly use a water pan here if you wanted to use a water pan. I don't really need to do that, but you could do that if you want to and use that water pan as a dam instead of using the baskets to hold your charcoal on the opposite side. But let's go ahead and get our ribs put on here. And we're gonna get it closed up. And one thing to remember is we got our vent here on the opposite side of our coals because again, we're creating that convection cooking, offset cooking, perfect for the Weber kettle. So that's what we're doing. Okay, now that we've got our ribs onto our Weber kettle, we're all fired up, we're smoking, we're good to go. We're gonna target our temperature somewhere between 250 and 300 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're just gonna let this cook go. Can't get any simpler than this. So I'll bring you back when we get to our, I guess our first checkpoint. All right, so as I said, we're gonna be cooking today between 250 and 300 degrees. And now we're approaching our 250 degree mark here. And so what I'm gonna do is start choking down my top vent. Again, my bottom vent is wide open. So what I'm doing is taking my top vent here, we're gonna put it to about between, you know, I guess about a third open, guys, on these holes. So that would be full open. Obviously that's full closed. So we're looking for about a third. So about right there. We're gonna leave our vents here and we're gonna let it come up to temp. Hopefully this is gonna like settle in between that 250 and 300 degrees. So let's let it go. All right, guys, so hey, we've been cooking now for about 2 hours and now we're gonna take a look. Now, full disclosure, I did go ahead and reopen the vents here to full open so that we could settle into our temperature. Right now we're rocking at about 275 degrees. Now we're gonna take a look at our ribs here just to see how they're progressing. And they're coming along pretty good here. Now I am seeing that we are kind of drying out here across the surface, so we're gonna spritz it. Now I've got my bottle here, and literally we are just spritzing with water, guys. You can put whatever you'd like on your ribs, you know, ACV, W sauce, ACV, and apple juice, you name it, whatever you want to put on it. You can go ahead and spritz it, but we just put a little water on it. We got it closed back up so we don't lose too much temperature here, and we're just gonna keep it going. All right, guys, so we just hit the 5.5 hour mark on this cook, and I'm anticipating they might be ready by now, but we'll see here. We're probing pretty good here, and it's sliding in very nicely. We're sitting at about 199, 200 degrees here, 201, 202. So we are pretty much there, guys. I'm gonna call this cook done. So I'm gonna get these ribs off the grill and I'll see you back in the studio. All right, guys, hey, we are back in the studio. We got our ribs off. But before we cut into this, let's do a recap of what we did with today's cook. So we got us some beef plate ribs from Midland Meat Company. And again, they were already trimmed up for us, so we didn't have to do anything with that. I use my hot sauce for a binder, but again, you don't have to use hot sauce. Use whatever you like, or don't use a binder at all, guys. We use Uncle Steve's Spicier and Smoke Bomb for our seasonings or our rubs today. And we add a little bit of 16 mesh ground black pepper. Now we got the Weber kettle fired up today, and we use B&B lump charcoal and B&B post oak wood chunks. We use tumbleweeds to get our charcoal lit today, and we got our grill racks put back on. Then we got our ribs put onto the grill, and now today we're targeting our cooking temperature to be somewhere between 250 and 300 degrees. Ideally, we'll settle in at 275. Now, a couple hours into the cook, we took a look at the ribs, and that was the time to see if we were cooking too fast and too dry, and maybe we needed to add a little bit of a spritz. So today we spritz with water. Now, you can use whatever you like for your spritz, but today, again, I just used water. At the 3.5 hour mark, I went back to go check our ribs, and everything was looking great. No spritz needed. We got plenty of moisture, so we just closed it up and kept going. Now at the 5.5 hour mark, we went to go check our ribs, and lo and behold, we're finished. We probed very tender, and we were hitting a 200, 202, 203 temperature internal. And so, man, it was time to get these ribs off. Now we got these ribs off, and we've been letting them rest here for about an hour, and now it's time to cut into these ribs. So let's check it out. All right, so here we've got our beef ribs, and you can see we've got an excellent pull back here. This bone is like barely hanging on, so I think we're probably just gonna take that off just like that. How about that? So we got us a 2-bone plate rib, and so what we're gonna do is we're gonna get this cut here. Now I'm gonna be using my Dawgfatha knife here today, guys, and again, Dawgfatha's are excellent knives. If you don't have one, make sure you check the links down in the description box and get a 10% discount. So we're gonna go ahead and cut right through here. And that's cutting very nicely. And look at that, guys. How about that? Nice and juicy. Got a little bit of a smoke ring going on there. Feeling nice and tender. I mean, man, this was a great cook. So we got to go in for a taste test, right? All right, so here we go, guys. Let's get into this beef rib. So, man, as I said, this cook was just fantastic. This beef rib from Midland Meat Company is absolutely phenomenal. Guys, you saw how easy this cook is. You can do it. Anybody can do it. So, hey, I enjoyed hanging out with you guys today. Thank you for being here. And if you enjoyed what you saw here, don't forget, subscribe to the channel. Give us a thumbs up. And make sure you check out the videos I've got posted here on the channel. I'm going to see you in the next video. About to get into this beef rib. Peace.